Thursday. We're 3 days from kickoff?
Yeah.
3 days from kickoff. And I'm looking at it, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't really been diving into this. I'm looking at it, if the Browns win, they're pretty much in the playoffs, right?
They are.
High likelihood.
I mean, it's not.
It's not it doesn't rubber stamp them. They're not going to put the X next to their name.
They could, depending on some other games.
If some other teams lose, then they could.
Yeah.
But I think I saw it on the New York Times thing where you enter in the wins and stuff.
Yes, you can play their probability game.
Just the Browns win gives them a 99% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, so at that point, it's like hitting a 10-leg parlay.
Right.
All these crazy things have to happen. If I would have told you before the season started that the Browns could clinch a playoff spot with 2 games to go and they'd be on Joe Flacco as their 4th quarterback, you guys would have looked at me like I'm completely lost my mind.
And then if you threw in there the fact that they're averaging over 2 turnovers a game and the injuries, I would have laughed even more.
Or Nick Chubb played one game.
Nick Chubb missing the season, essentially.
Nick Chubb played one game for you.
It's unreal. It really is. When you look at the whole picture, when you look at it that way, it really is nothing short of remarkable. And it also proves what Bull always likes to say. The NFL, it is week to week, but it's more season to season, too, than we think.
Oh, 100%.
You try to play that schedule game in July, and you think you know what everyone is. And then you find out by week 4, they're not what we thought they were.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there are teams that rise from the ashes, and there are teams that fall way back. And it really is, I think it's the reason, guys, that it is the most popular league in America, because your team can go from last to first. It routinely happens.
Happens all the time.
Well, plus every game really matters.
They're
more
huge.
than any other sport.
They're equivalent to 10 baseball games.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
It used to be just really close to 10 baseball games.
But still.
It's equivalent to basically, and so think about it. If you win 3 in a row in the NFL, which is what the Browns are trying to do, that's the equivalent of winning 30 in a row in baseball.
Yeah.
You're going to the playoffs.
Man,
unless you totally crap the bed the rest of the games.
Yeah.
I look at it, and we've talked about how snake-bitten the Browns are. We talk about only in Cleveland things happening. But just take a look at the bounces that they've got this year. This game was 2 weeks ago. C.J. Stroud is playing his tail off. He looks like he's an MVP candidate. And you come around, they take a bad L to the Jets.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud gets hurt. He has the concussion. Now you get your old friend, Case Keenum, and ready to go, and you have Joe Flacco. You feel good about this game. But so many games, you got Joe Burrow when he was hurt. The 49ers, Deebo Samuel goes out. P.J. Walker wins these miraculous game. DTR.
Well, just look at San Francisco missed the kick. Last week, the dropped Hail Mary. It was a reception.
And the pass interference calls in Indianapolis.
That's right.
It's crazy, man.
We don't apologize for that.
Oh, no.
Because
not that they're that good even with them, but you got Arizona the week before Kyler Murray came in.
That's true.
They'd be a lot more competitive with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
I still don't know Arizona's quarterback name that played against us.
The Browns were overdue for a number of breaks, and obviously the injuries have not been breaks for them, but everything else this season, outside of the way they lost that first Steeler game, everything else has been gone in their favor.
Yeah, that was brutal. And the other thing, too, to kind of really put into perspective what's going on in front of our very eyes, is that currently the number 1 seeds in each conference, the Browns have wins against.
Yeah.
So, not only is it you're playoff bound in all likelihood, but why not these Cleveland Browns? Why not?
No, and you're starting to hear that echo. You're starting to hear that from all of the guys.
I know.
Think about it. You went from we getting on people for saying, I don't like the Cleveland Browns. I don't want anything to do with them. They should be on at 1 o'clock. The national media is like, what are we going to do about this story? And then now, you fast forward to now, people are saying the Browns are the best story in the league. Joe Flacco is a great story. Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year. So it's funny how these things morph into, and they've showed a lot of people. I don't think we'll say this anymore, but show us how many teams had their starting quarterback gone. And they still competed. Indianapolis is still competing. The Browns are there. Cincinnati is still there. The Pittsburgh Steelers are still there. It's showing you that.
Although I would say the Steelers are collapsing.
Yes.
Without
they're
not that
falling
Pickett's
fast.
that good, but
if you got a solid quarterback and most importantly a coach that continues to keep your guys playing hard and a defense, your season isn't over.
Right? You can get through it.
You can still get through it. It's not going to be easy, but they've shown that you can do that.
It's funny, too, because the number one seeds in both conference have their starting quarterback. They haven't had to go to the well. Like the Browns have gone to the well 3 times. I mean, typically, I don't care who you are. We saw with the 49ers that even though they were getting this miraculous play from Mr. Irrelevant and Brock Purdy, the second he went down, their season was over.
Well, in fairness, they didn't have another quarterback on the roster at that point.
They did not. No.
But
who thinks to carry, like in the Browns case, they, obviously P.J. Walker was what he was. He was a Band-Aid on a hatchet wound, and he didn't. But he did get us the win against San Francisco. But when they had to go down, San Francisco didn't have the luxury of going out and finding a quarterback because Brock Purdy went down in the Eagles game.
Right.
But the Browns have their front office. We've got to give Andrew Berry all the flowers in the world. He's gone out and made 2 incredible moves that absolutely turned this sinking ship into a floatable vessel that seems to be going to a nice place. Joe Flacco on the couch 1 week, guiding the team to the playoffs the other, and then in Hopkins going out and trading for this guy after you've made the decision that the guy that you picked just a year ago isn't it.
I think you left another guy out.
I probably did.
Kareem Hunt.
There's another. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, what does he have? 8 touchdowns?
He was on the couch too.
Yeah.
He was on the couch. Nick Chubb goes down. The Browns immediately. Every team keeps a file, like the break glass in case of an emergency. And they've got broken glass all over their facility in Berea because they had to break it for the running back, the kicker, the quarterback. They just keep making the right moves. And this wonderful story continues, and who knows where it ends.
By the way, I'm just, not that this guy's been amazing, but Garen Christian, they picked him up off the couch, and he's done a decent, a serviceable job at left tackle. Not great, certainly.
I haven't used his name in vain yet.
No,
so.
he's been serviceable.
Right.
He's
not another guy that's playing line.
He's not the right tackle.
And I'm trying to stop doing that too. But sorry, Lloyd.
And even Shelby Harris,
doing that.
they picked him up right at the end of training camp, right? Wasn't he right
I think he was at the very end.
Yeah.
So those are 5 guys you picked up starting from the last week of training camp or right at the end through the season that are important parts of the team.
And all of his undrafted free agents, they played. All of his guys he brought in for free agency, all of them have been good. Harris, Thomason, Hurst, all 3 of those guys played lights out. Ogbo played great.
They've contributed.
All of them look pretty decent, right?
Yeah, so kudos to Andrew Berry, kudos to Kevin Stefanski, and really the entire organization. It's been a long time since we can say that. It really has. I mean, it's been a long time, but everybody top to bottom has done their job.